The genocide. The plane crash that occurred on 6 April of the year 1994 was a landmark in the history of Rwanda. The crash was immediately followed by violence in the country as it was a clear point that the president was bombed. Under the cover of the violence, Hutu leaders took the advantage and planned for attacks that were meant to clear out the whole tribe of Tutsi, which they had been blaming for pressure in the country. Reports indicated that the number of those who participated in the attacks were about 200,000. The attacks were launched at the Tutsis and those who were suspected to belong to the tribe in their homes, where they were killed and women were raped. Measures were also taken to trap the Tutsis who were trying to escape the genocides by placing roadblocks upon where fleeing people were similarly murdered. The killings were continued over time until a rebel group that was mainly dominated by the Tutsi community overpowered the Hutus. In a span of 3 months, the mass attacks on Tutsis and Hutus who were considered to be neutral or on the side of the Tutsis were conducted before the watch of the international community. The United Nations, the African Union as well as the neighboring countries to Rwanda played a passive role as people. Immediately after the death of the president from the crash, the presidential security personnel launched a massive attack, killing opposition leaders with an almost simultaneous recruitment of armed personnel that was sent all over the country for avenge president's death. Organized by Hutu's extremist political class together with individuals who dominated the business sector and government security agencies, a large force was mobilized to undertake the genocide. The force was even further aided as civilian Hutus later joined the wave to clear off Tutsis and their allies. Cases were even reported where Hutus who were never willing to kill their Tutsi neighbors were forced by the military to undertake such killings. The government, or rather political and military forces that had been allied to the slain president, even offered payments as motivation to those who participated in the Tutsi genocide. The only hope of the Tutsis, which was international peacekeepers, were also withdrawn from the country after some of their officers were killed in the process of the attacks. The killings continued as rebel forces that was led by Mr. Paul Kagame, and which was accused of the attack on the president's plane, increased its attacks on government military forces. Though the United Nations made efforts to establish negotiations to end the killings, the efforts were fruitless, and the attacks both by Hutus on the Tutsis and those by the rebel forces on government military continued until the rebel forces defeated government military and Mr. Kagame established as the country's president.